All right. It came to my attention in reflection that we have yet to post up a little tour of our pasture, our main pasture, center part of our property. We'll just walk the fence line and go from there and show you what I've done and what the plans are for the future with this piece of tract of land. It's probably the better part of 2 acres. Maybe a little under, maybe a little over, but it's a good chunk. And that over there is my wife's Uncle Stevie's property. We share the fence line here, which is the original fence line that was with the property when we got here, when we took it over. Old creosote post, still solid as ever. Probably be here another 100 years. Go on down to the bottom. Yeah, I've seen the back part where we've been clear cutting the pines out. That's our hunting area. Got the trail cam set up back there, and that was kind of our wildlife refuge piece of the property. That post marks our property line, technically. Thought it was the fence line, but when we had it surveyed, property line actually comes over this way, so we're cheated over on his property by 10-15 feet, but it don't matter. Family. We all share around here. I'll just show you over here. As you can see, we are not in short supply of cedars. This will be a great pasture once we get a lot of the thicket cut out. Right here was so dense, sun didn't hit the ground at all, even in the dead of summer, midday. So dense with the cedar trees and limbs. I've cut down 20 trees. Shoot, right around me is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 just around me. Cedars, oak. That oak right there is going to be firewood. We're talking monster cedars. Believe it or not, we'll rip that up into lumber of some sort. We'll come down through here. I'm gonna keep a few shade trees, but we want this to be the grazing pasture. And right there's another honking cedar tree. Look at that bad boy. Yeah.
That's a monster one.
Trunk short, but it can be cut into some kind of usable lumber. I've even thought of making little bench seats. Carve them out with a chainsaw, set them on the porch. And there I was. Oh, I remember this. You remember this, buddy?
Yeah.
We was ripping that up with a saw, just for giggles. Right there'd be a good fireplace mantle. As a matter of fact, I used one just like that, a little thicker for ours. So, all sorts of uses for these trees. They ain't going to waste. In the last case scenario, they get burnt for firewood to keep us warm and give us nice hot water in the winter months. But we'll come on down here. There's another post marking the property line. It gets closer to the, surveyor said it gets closer to the fence line. And as a matter of fact, right down here, it gets on right on the fence line. So anyway, like I said, we neighbors, we family. It's all good. And that's the new cross fence I put up. The one that was originally down, or originally there, was down and pretty much non-existent.
You can get around that one.
And all this was so overgrown you couldn't even walk through it, much less see through it. And we clear cut it and cut down a bunch of trees, brush cut a bunch of stuff in here and took a bush hog through it. Now, if I can just get the rest of these cedars done and get this stuff, all this little sticks and limbs, I'm going to rent a skid steer with a front bucket on it that's got the grabber claws. Snatch all the stuff up, pile it up in a central location, maybe up there, and burn it. And then seed heavily. This will be fantastic pasture.
Hey.
And that cedar I believe I'm going to leave. I'm going to trim it up so the horses won't be banging their heads on underneath branches, but we'll leave them some shade back here.
Hey, Dad, I just realized something. We could do hay on this if we cleared all the trees out.
Well, if it did hay on it, wouldn't be able to graze on it. Wouldn't be able to put any animals. I'd rather put animals on it.
Than hay.
That back there is where we've been cutting pine trees. And yeah, I see.
It fell.
Wind got that one. Hey, that's about the right size for a fence rail on the porch. Leaned up on my barbed wire. We'll have to come cut that.
It fell.
Just wanted to show y'all the main pasture property. It'd be a good section. We could put a couple cows on it. Let our horses graze back here. Do rotational grazing if need be. We can set up temporary electric rope fence, quarter it off, and it'll work good for us. I mean, it's a chunk of pasture. Once we get it cleared, get it seeded, get it established. There goes Ginger with the birds. What are you doing? And Lucy. Anyway, once we get it cleared up and get it seeded down, it's going to take a couple of years to get to where we want it, but it'll be prime pasture. And it is sloped good. Looking at it from the side right here, it's actually, that's with the grade. So, and it slopes heavily down that way. Eventually, spoiler alert, right down there, once we get all that cleared up and that lull before it goes up the hill, we would like to dig out to make a pond because we got all this runoff there and all that back runoff. Dig a pond out, I believe it'd work. Livestock pond. You go drink their water and maybe put some ducks back there. Who knows? Probably not ducks. Something.
Well,
that is a grand tour of the central part of the property. Looks like the rain's blowing in again. This weather and